Hello and welcome to the SMEFocus show powered by MTDCNC. I'm Mark Weymouth from the Sensor Specialist Plus Automation. I'm your host this week to try and highlight topics of interest to UK manufacturing and in particular SMEs. My guest today is Catherine Rynham, owner of the Source Technical, a technical recruitment business specialising in engineering and manufacturing. I also know Catherine because she's a powerhouse on LinkedIn with over 2,500 followers. Hi Catherine, welcome to SMEFocus.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm
thank
very
you
good,
for
thank
that.
you. Yourself?
26,000 followers. Yeah, all good, thank you.
Cool. So let's ask a couple of questions and we'll try and build up to find out how on earth you got so big on LinkedIn. But if I can start going back in history before the time of LinkedIn. I know you've been in recruitment for nearly 14 years, which I guess means you like it and you must be good at it. So can we kick off by asking about your journey to recruitment and why you chose to settle in recruitment?
Yeah, well, I've actually been in recruitment a lot longer than what it says on my LinkedIn. The last 14 years was when I got my LinkedIn account, but I was in recruitment for 10 years prior to that. The way that I got into recruitment is I just always wanted to do it. I saw a job in a job advert, a job centre. I saw a job in a job centre and I just thought I want to do that on a lady's door until she gave me an opportunity. And I started off doing truck drivers and HGV professionals. And then I fell into a company that did CNC engineers, and I just fell in love with it. I love CNC. I love machine tool technologies. I love advanced engineering, and it's just grown from there. So at the moment, I cover anything to do with engineering and manufacturing, but my specialist subjects, I would say, are the machine tool markets, metrology, and vertical.
Okay. What particularly drew you to it? What caused the spark of interest in machining and manufacturing?
I'm just a bit of a geek. I like machine tools. I like machine tool interfaces. I like how much they cost. I like what they can make. I like that they can be used in so many different industry sectors. No one placement is the same. And the business was really founded out of frustration, really. I don't think companies are always getting a return on their investment all the time. And I feel like that if I'm giving a client not only the recruitment experience, but also the experience of being a bit of a geek and finding out about technologies and knowing what I'm talking about, it makes selling the job easier to the candidate, but it also makes selling to the client easier.
Okay. And obviously you own and run your own business now, so I'm assuming that was the reason you sort of specialised in it. Yeah, if it's your own business, you can choose to do just the bit you want and the bit that you're good at.
Yeah, when I worked for an agency, they didn't want to do machine tools. They didn't really want to do composites and lightweight technologies. It's all quite new. And what they want when you work for a larger agency, a lot of the time, they want numbers, they want volume, and I prefer to bespoke way, really. So identify their needs and work with them to find the important factor of any organisation. And I want to give my clients that investment the return on their investment, find them some skilled people that are going to stay within their business and be a valuable asset to them. I'm not about turning candidates from one place to the other. And every new role I pick up is a new fresh start. And we're looking for somebody for that company, not someone who's been somewhere else. It's for that particular assignment.
Okay. It's obviously very refreshing to hear a recruiter say such things, because can at times be quite sceptical of them. And I notice you're quite different as well in terms of driving your sort of technical knowledge and your industry knowledge by being very active in trade associations. So can you tell us a little bit more about your membership in Composites UK?
Yes.
And, is it SAMPA, the Material and Processing Engineering body?
Well, I got involved with them because during COVID, it was tough. There were a lot of machines not being sold. There were a lot of precision engineering companies really having difficulties. So I looked into composites, and it was innovative, which I like. It was doing interesting projects, which I like. Anything to do. I really get excited if I get a company on and they are a motorsport company, or if they are making flying taxis, or if they are producing luxury yachts. These kind of things really excite me, because I know that I can go back to my candidate and say, you'll never guess what I'm going to tell you now. And they can really be involved in the success of a business. So the composites industry does offer that. There's a lot of innovation. It's still quite small, and it's growing. So getting involved with Composites UK and the SAMPA group has been really beneficial to me. I've been able to do a lot of networking. I get involved by going to some of the meetings. I'm going to Paris next month to the world's biggest composite event, which is the JAC World.
Okay.
But I feel that composites and machine tools and machining and manufacturing processes, they all do come together. Composite still needs to be machined in a lot of cases, and it still needs to be quality checked. They still need to follow processes with regards to quality and things like that as well. So yeah, it does work very well within my business knowledge already. But being part of the groups it's just amazing. I speak to people on a daily basis from the groups. There's so much support that they can offer you, and you're kind of ahead on the sector as well. You've got a lot of inside knowledge, and it's really helpful. It's also enabled me to begin to recruit globally, which is another thing that I've really enjoyed. And I'm now moving into the polymers space, so anything to do with advanced materials, advanced manufacturing, and that's enabled me to do that, having those connections. As you know yourself, I attend pretty much every industry event going. I'm always at advanced engineering. I go to them all. I'm always at the NEC. I'm stomping around the NEC, speaking to people. Most of the machine tool companies that I've worked with, I met at Mac, and I continue to go to Mac, Subcon, all those kind of things.
Okay, very, very different from your average database jockey recruitment number cruncher. So it's fantastic to hear your examples of how proactive you are in the industry.
I just actually love it, Mark. Honestly, I can't think of anything else I'd prefer to do. I know a lot of people in recruitment, I feel like that they feel like they're doing a sales job, or they feel like they're doing a job, but I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with LinkedIn.
So that's the key then, how to get that many followers, just to be obsessed and work damn hard.
Yeah, well, that happened during COVID. Yeah, that happened during COVID. I didn't have that much to work on, so I just started making friends.
Fantastic.
A lot of friends.
Well, I think it's probably, I haven't really touched recruitment in any form since before COVID, so I'm guessing COVID brought about a lot of changes. Can I ask you for maybe some of the changes you've seen in the general recruitment market with regard to engineering and manufacturing?
I think really the major changes have been it's a challenging arena for anybody at the moment is recruitment. You know, a lot of people went from out of industry during COVID, and people have changed the way they feel about work. A lot of people that used to work away, or people that have were working long hours, or were in more senior roles, or were like field service engineers and things. They want to stay home, and people started wanting to work hybrid and working from home. Also, during this whole time, the salaries went up quite a lot as well. So you have customers, which no fault of their own, are still trying to replace people on outdated salaries. And this is why when I speak to a new client, I like to really understand their pain, because there has been a lot of changes. You know, especially if you've not recruited for the last 3 or 4 years, you're going to have a shock. A lot of the larger clients are also using talent acquisition teams now as well, and that's a challenge for us as recruiters as well to get past that.
Yeah. There's lots of talk of AI being used to sort of screen CVs and stuff. Do you see much evidence of that in some of these big number crunching organizations?
Yeah, and I'd say that from a candidate point of view, that is a major frustration. I must speak to 2 or 3 people a week that are, you know, they're going through these systems, and you've got to have it look a certain way, and you've got to have keywords in there, and it needs to match the job specification. But as a human, you know that that's not the way it works. I'll give you an example. So a CNC miller is a horizontal machine. They work on a horizontal axis, yeah. But so does a borer. So if a CNC borer and a CNC miller, they're very similar things. They're both working horizontally. So, you know, only a human would know that. The AI doesn't know that. And therefore, that's probably going under the radar. There's different terminologies used in different industry sectors that mean similar things. You know, what Rolls-Royce use for some of their processes may be different than what JLR use, which may be different from their supply chain. Again, an AI isn't going to know that. So there's a lot of that. And I think it's almost just taking away that human element. And I don't think the candidates appreciate it.
Well, I guess the biggest challenge, if your profession is recruiting and working with engineers, there are also a group of people who aren't renowned for their written skills. They're creative people and good with the hands, practical people. They're not necessarily great at writing a CV, particularly if they only do it a couple of times in their lifetime. So, I can see why you must stand out with your knowledge of actually understanding what the person's done rather than what the person can write.
Yeah, I mean, 90% of the business that I get is repeat business. And usually I'm working with companies, not just sort of like on one role, I'm working with them on many. So I get to know their company so well that when I speak with candidates, I think it's refreshing for them, because they're used to filling out forms, submitting CVs, somehow hoping it gets through the AI, hoping that it gets to the actual person at the other end. And everybody knows how time consuming it is looking at CVs. It is time consuming. But I can see why companies are trying it, but I don't think it's good.
So, any particular advice you can offer for SMEs, because that's one of the core target audiences for this show. So, advice for SMEs on recruitment and I guess people retention, maybe.
Yeah, I think with SMEs, and it's something that I have come across quite a lot, is some SMEs are really struggling to find the correct people. And some of it is salary driven. It's hard to keep up with this. But I think it's the other things that you can offer as a business to a candidate and to a potential candidate, the way that you sell yourself. At one time in recruitment, it used to be about selling to the client, and I feel now it's more about selling to the candidate. The candidate's the one that needs to be convinced. We're in a skill shortage, and we have been for quite a few years now. So I think anything that they can offer in terms of sort of like private healthcare, you know, looking at the pension, maybe a contributory pension, you know, birthday days off. These are all things that sort of make an impression of a company. Maybe flexible hours. A lot of my clients have started doing that now. Just anything really to entice them a little bit more, really. And I've seen a lot of free parking. Free parking isn't a benefit. You know, think about what you can offer as a business. I know one client, for instance, and they do a lot of activities like barbecues and days outs and team building exercises. I know some companies where they offer birthdays off. I know some companies where you can, you know, there's different things that you could be doing just to really show the ethos of your company. It's a friendly place to join. And most people working for SMEs, you know, they enjoy that. They enjoy that it's a smaller feel and that they're contributing to a bigger thing. But yeah, to entice people, I think really website, keep that looking fresh, just keep it looking good. Somehow get across your story and what's great. And yeah, benefits. What benefits are there? They don't always have to be financial.
Okay, that's really useful to hear. So I think you've told us how you got to recruitment and really how you go about recruitment, and given some good advice for SMEs to either recruit successfully or maybe not need recruitment initially to retain the people they've got. So more generally, can you tell me some of your can you tell me some more some of your plans for 2025, maybe some hope for the business? How do you see the year ahead?
Yeah, plans for 2025 really is I'm still going to keep small. I'm wanting to stay doing this on my own. But I think really for me, the next 12 months, I would like to work with customers on sorry, I can't say it. I would like to work with customers on a more exclusive basis. So working with customers to really understand their recruitment needs, to not just fire CVs at them, not just to find them the right person, but to be involved about their whole recruitment process and add any value that I can to their journey, and help them find, you know, what they need at the right time, and then move on, and hopefully they're left with a good impression of recruiters and a recruitment solution rather than just the one-off. Here you go, there's a CV. Let's hope it works out, you know.
And is that something you've got working already with a couple of clients that you'd like to scale up? Have you seen the benefits?
Well, I work with most of my clients in that way already, but I am looking to go global. I successfully did some recruitment both in Spain and the USA last year. I'd like to continue with that because I really enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there. And yeah, for me now, it's about working with customers to achieve their recruitment goals, and not just being someone who you ring up and say, oh, I need this. Well, I can do that, but it doesn't excite me. I want to be involved in your recruitment process. I want to help you find the right people and help you put together those interview questions, help you with the interview process. You know, be a complete solution.
Okay. Well, I wish you luck scaling that out. So we've talked about LinkedIn, but how do people find you and how do people go around contacting you? Are there other ways other than LinkedIn?
Well, my website's rubbish. I know I've just spoke about other people's websites, but that is needing a refresh. But if anybody can contact me on LinkedIn, so it's Catherine Rynham at The Source Technical, and my phone number is 07 859 974 803, and all my information's on there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that, and thank you for your time today. I'll no doubt keep an eye on your many posts on LinkedIn and see how you've managed to promote this when it goes out. So thanks for that, Catherine.
I hope they cut that bit out.
I'll wrap up by saying,
if you'd like to get in touch.
I did indeed, yeah. Let me just wrap up and then we'll have a chat offline as well. If you'd like to get in touch with the show with a comment, a suggestion, or if you'd like to appear in a future episode, please email us at inquiries@mtdcnc.com or contact myself, Stuart Whitehead, or Joe Reynolds. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. From me, Mark Weymouth at Plus Automation. Cheers. Thanks.